It's a scorching summer day in a sleepy little suburb outside Austin. The kind of heat that makes your skin feel like it's melting right off your bones. My name's Lisa, and I'm about to tell you a story that turned my quiet little life upside down. A story that started with a nosy neighbor, a splash of jealousy, and ended with a courtroom drama that still gives me chills. So, grab a cold drink, settle in, 'cause this one's a wild ride, and I'm still trying to make sense of it myself. It all started with my neighbor, Mandy. Oh, Mandy, bless her heart, she was the queen of our cul-de-sac, always strutting around like she owned the whole dang neighborhood. She'd show up at my place uninvited, plop herself in my pool with a cocktail she'd mixed from my liquor cabinet, acting like it was her personal resort. For weeks, she'd been letting herself in through my side gate, claiming her pool was out of commission, some nonsense about a busted filter. I let it slide at first, trying to be neighborly, but it was getting old fast. Mandy had this way of getting under your skin, big sunglasses, bigger attitude, always tossing her hair and dropping little comments that were half flirt, half dig. Like, "Oh, Lisa, this pool's so much nicer than ours. No wonder you're always hiding back here." Hiding? Girl, I'm just trying to work from home in peace. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a quiet gal, kinda introverted. Always been more comfortable with spreadsheets than small talk. Mandy knew that, and she used it, waltzing in with her floral beach bag, helping herself to my tequila like it was community property. I'd see her out there floating on my inflatable raft, sipping a margarita she'd made with my limes, and I'd just grit my teeth. My husband, Ben, was no help. He'd just shrug and say, "Let her have her fun, Lisa. What's the harm?" Easy for him to say. He was never home when she pulled her stunts. But me? I was hitting my limit. 3 weeks of this, and I was done playing doormat. That day, the sun was brutal, hammering down on our perfect little street, manicured lawns, white picket fences, the whole suburban dream. I was standing at my patio door, arms crossed, watching Mandy do her usual routine, sprawled out in my pool, glass in hand, acting like she was starring in some Instagram influencer shoot. I'd had enough. I stepped outside, feeling my heart pound, and said, "Mandy, you gotta go. This isn't your pool, and I'm tired of you acting like it is." My voice was shaky, but I meant it. She just laughed, swirling her drink like she didn't have a care in the world. "Oh, Lisa, lighten up," she said, her voice all syrupy sweet. "It's just a little dip. No need to get all grumpy." Grumpy? I was fuming, but before I could snap back, I heard the gate click open. I thought it was Ben, home early from work. But no, it was Jake, Mandy's husband. And let me tell you, Jake wasn't there for a swim. He's this big guy, built like a linebacker, always seemed like the type who'd rather grill steaks than start drama. But the look on his face. Pure thunder. His eyes locked on Mandy, then flicked to me, and I swear the air got heavier, like a storm was about to break. Mandy sat up in the pool, her sunglasses slipping down her nose. "Jake, honey, what are you doing here?" she chirped, but her voice had an edge, like she knew something was off. He didn't answer, just kept walking toward us, his work boots thumping on the flagstone patio, a little metal toolbox swinging in his hand. I tried to play it cool. "Hey, Jake, everything okay?" I said, but my voice cracked. He stopped at the edge of the pool, staring down at Mandy like she was a stranger. "Get out," he said, low and mean. Not a request, but an order. Mandy's smile vanished. She scrambled out of the water, dripping wet, clutching her towel like it could shield her. "Jake, what's your problem?" She snapped, but he wasn't looking at her anymore. He was looking at me, and his eyes. God, they were dark, like he'd been carrying something heavy for a long time and was finally ready to let it loose. "You," he said, pointing at me, his voice like gravel. "You think you can just let my wife parade around here in that itsy-bitsy bikini in your pool like I wouldn't notice?" I froze. "Jake, hold on. I was just telling her to leave, I stammered, but he wasn't hearing it. He took a step closer, and I swear I could feel the heat coming off him, not from the sun, but from something raw and ugly inside. "I've seen you," he growled. "Always out here watering your damn flowers when she's getting the mail, acting all friendly. You think I'm blind?" Mandy tried to jump in. "Jake, you're being ridiculous. It's not like that." But he cut her off, his voice slicing through hers. "Shut up, Mandy. This is between me and her." My heart was racing now, my hands shaking. I backed up, tripping over a lounge chair, and that's when it happened. Jake dropped the toolbox, grabbed a big OL wrench from it, and before I could even process what was going on, he swung. The sound, God, I'll never forget it. Not a movie-style crack, but this wet, heavy thud, like a sack of flour hitting the ground. I screamed, my hands flying to my mouth as blood started pooling under my head, my vision going blurry. I didn't even realize I'd fallen until I felt the hot concrete against my back. Everything went hazy, like I was underwater, sounds muffled, colors bleeding together. I heard Mandy shrieking, "Jake, what did you do?" But it was like her voice was coming from miles away. I tried to move, to get up, but my body wouldn't listen. Jake was standing over me, the wrench still in his hand, a single drop of blood sliding down its edge. He looked empty, like whatever had been driving him just burned out, leaving nothing but a shell. Mandy was sobbing, fumbling for her phone on the patio table, but Jake grabbed it and chucked it hard against the house. It shattered, pieces scattering into my flower bed. "No calls," he hissed. "Nobody saw nothing." I don't know how long I was out, but when I came to, I was alone, sprawled on the patio, the sun still beating down like nothing had happened. My head was throbbing, blood sticky in my hair, but I was alive, barely. I dragged myself toward the house, every inch feeling like a mile, my hands clawing at the flagstones. I made it to my office, hit the panic button on my security system, and collapsed, praying someone would come. That's when I heard the sirens, faint at first, then louder, like angels screaming. The cops found me face down in the shallow end of my pool. I don't know how I got there. Maybe I rolled in. Maybe Jake moved me to make it look like an accident. But they pulled me out, and I was still breathing. Thank God. Mandy and Jake were gone, but they left behind a trail of evidence, her purse, her broken phone, and Jake's toolbox, his name etched right on the handle like a signed confession. The security cameras I'd installed the week before caught everything, every word, every swing of that wrench. And something I didn't expect, Mandy hosing down the patio, washing my blood into the pool like she was cleaning up a spilled drink. When they brought me to the station, I was a mess, damp sundress, shivering under a scratchy blanket, my head bandaged but still pounding. The detective, this older guy with a face like a tired bloodhound, sat me down and showed me the footage. I couldn't believe it. There was Mandy, my neighbor, my friend, methodically cleaning up her husband's crime while I was crawling for my life. She looked like a robot, no emotion, just doing what Jake told her. The timestamp showed she was out there for 7 minutes alone before Jake came back to drag her away. 7 minutes where she chose him over me, over what was right. I was angry, angrier than I'd ever been. Jake had tried to kill me, sure, but Mandy. She'd played me for weeks, used my kindness, my pool, my life as her personal playground, and then helped cover up an attempt to end it. I looked at the detective and said, I want to testify. I want everyone to know what they did. And I meant it. For the first time in my life, I wasn't going to shrink back. Wasn't going to let someone else call the shots. 6 months later, I was in a courtroom, staring at Jake across a sea of faces. He looked smaller, like the weight of his own lies had crushed him. Mandy was there too, sitting in the witness box before me, her face pale, her hands twisting in her lap. The prosecutor played the security footage for the jury, and you could hear a pin drop. There it was, Jake's rage, my blood, Mandy's betrayal, all in high def. I took the stand and told them everything. How Mandy manipulated me. How Jake's jealousy turned him into a monster. How I crawled to that panic button with everything I had left. I didn't cry, didn't waver, just laid it all bare. When it was Mandy's turn, she tried to spin it, said Jake forced her to clean up, that she was scared, that she didn't know I was still alive. But the jury saw through it. They saw the video, saw her calmly washing away evidence while I was fighting to survive. Jake's story about me slipping and hitting my head. It fell apart faster than a cheap lawn chair. The verdict came quick, guilty of attempted murder for Jake, and for Mandy, accessory after the fact. As they led Jake away, he finally looked at me, and I saw it, pure, bitter hate, like I'd stolen something from him. I stared right back, my chin up, my heart steady. He didn't own me. Neither of them did. Walking out of that courthouse, the Texas sun hit me like a spotlight, reporters shouting questions I didn't answer. I just kept walking, feeling the weight of the last year lift with every step. I wasn't the same Lisa who let Mandy walk all over her, who stayed quiet to keep the peace. That woman was gone, drowned in that pool along with the life I used to know. I don't know what's next. New town, new start, maybe a place where the neighbors mind their own business. But I know I'm not afraid anymore. I found something in that blood-soaked afternoon, something hard and unbreakable inside me. So here's the thing, what would you have done if you were me? Staring down a neighbor who thought they could take whatever they wanted, or facing a courtroom full of strangers judging your every move? Would you have fought back, or would you have stayed quiet, let the lies win? Drop a comment, tell me what you think. Who's the real villain here? Jake with his wrench and his rage, Mandy with her fake tears and her hose, or is it the whole dang system, the way we all play nice in these perfect little neighborhoods until someone snaps? Share your thoughts, I'm reading every single one.